Now wait one goddamn minute. You're telling me that it is true that Disney spent $650 million on 2 seasons of Andor? Has this company lost its mind? Oh my goodness. What's going on, my beautiful geek culture? As always, I'm your boy O, and today we have confirmation that Disney did indeed spend nearly $750 million for the first 2 seasons of Andor. I gotta tell you why I feel that this studio may have bid on more than what they can chew. Now look, before I get started, do your boy 3 major favors. Please hit that subscribe button. And after you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell, because YouTube absolutely sucks at notifying subscribers that content creators has uploaded videos to their platform. Hitting that notification bell certainly helps. And don't forget to hit that like button to help me out with that algorithm, baby. Now let's get into today's news. This article is coming from worldofreal.com. I will leave the link in the description below for those out there who believe that I'm making things up. It is titled, Tony Gilroy confirms $650 million price tag for Andor as Disney tells him, quote, streaming is dead, unquote. Well, maybe it is dead for that of Disney, but it damn sure is not dead for that of Netflix and other streaming services. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. At the ATX Television Festival this week, Gilroy casually confirmed what insiders have been whispering for a while now. Andor cost over $650 million to make. Let me repeat that. $650 million for 24 episodes of a Star Wars show. On a streaming platform Disney now says was never really worth the investment. I think I said that before. Didn't I say that? I said, why is Disney even making a streaming service when in reality a lot of their profits come from them licensing out their product? All right. Quote, never took a note, Gilroy said. For Disney, this is $650 million. You almost have to respect the man's delivery and honesty. Andor, blowing past every prior Star Wars production, even the sequels, wasn't on my bingo card. That's more than The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens combined. And maybe a little bit of The Rise of Skywalker. $650 million. You could have got 4 films out of that. At least 3. At least 3. All right. With the cost of season 1, the total now reportedly eclipses the budget of the entire original trilogy by over 10 times, adjusted for inflation. And I'm saying adjusted for inflation. The article isn't saying that. Now, that is me inserting that. That's me inserting that. So I don't want you to say that, oh man, you just made that up. Yes, I did. I feel like it's adjusted for inflation. That is the route we are going. The insane budget covers 2 seasons, sure, but let's not pretend this didn't go off the rails a bit. Production was stop and go. Filming began in 2022, got sidelined by the strikes, and didn't wrap until February 2024. All right. Gilroy also confirmed what many suspected. Disney gave him a long leash. We fought hard about money, he said, but they never cleaned anything up. This from the same studio that's now openly walking back its streaming ambitions. Gilroy actually stated that while negotiating for the budget, Disney told him, quote, streaming is dead. But before they bailed on the streaming game, they threw one last Hail Mary into the content void. And that was Andor. There's something kind of hilarious about Disney saying, quote, we're out of the streaming wars, after letting Gilroy build his sci-fi opera with the budget of a Marvel movie. But you know what? Fans will take it. Not this fan. I would not take it. I would not take it. I do not like Star Wars failing like this when it is so easy to get right. You know what I'm saying? I understand that Star Wars is a world. I get that. and I know many people are going to say, dude, you're being repetitive with this. It is a world. But Disney is hell-bent on taking the most important thing out of that world, and that is the Skywalkers. That's right. Not saying that you can't have good storytelling without the Skywalkers, but things would certainly be more interesting if some Skywalkers was around, bro. That's like taking Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman out of DC entirely. Think about that. Yeah, DC has this entire world that you can tell stories of, right? But without Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, the interest in those storytelling stories that you're going to be telling, it falls drastically. I'm just making sense here. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm just telling you what it is. Now, let me tell you why I say that this studio may have bid on more than what they can chew. Right off back, Disney Plus launched, and they decided to give you original content right out of the gate. Like straight up, bam, we doing this, bam, we doing that, we pumping this much money in it, bam, we doing it. They may have spent just about what, $1.5 billion in 1 year producing content for their streaming service. They're looking at Netflix and they're saying we can do it and we can do it better. But they need to understand this. Netflix took their time. Let's go over to Wikipedia here. Netflix was launched in 2007. 2007. And I believe that it became fully available to that of devices. When was it? 2009, 2010, 2000. Okay, from 2007 to 2012. All right, by the way, it's 2000. So it was like 2012 before they decided to give you, streaming service available to you on your devices. All right, so they started in 2007, and by 2012, that's when they fully went digital. Now we go over to a list of Netflix originals. Netflix didn't give you its first original streaming series until February 2013. See, follow me here. They didn't give you the first streaming original movie until 2015. So the point I'm trying to make here is Netflix established themselves before they decided to go all in and spend all heaps of money on content because they didn't have to. They didn't have to. They had all these old films, Tango and Cash, you know what I'm saying? Terminator, Resident Evil, all that was on Netflix. Everything. And people were subscribing to watch those films, which they love so much. Now, when it comes to Disney, yeah, we have films that we love a lot that Disney has produced. But Disney is not the whole of Hollywood. Netflix had the route to get there. They even had Disney content, Warner Brothers content, Sony content. They have Sony's content to this day. Everything that Sony releases, it goes to Netflix. And Sony is smart. See, they didn't do what Disney and Warner Brothers or Warner Discovery decided to do, or Paramount Plus decided to do. They said, look, we can make money and license off our product. You know what I'm saying? Whereas all these other companies, they felt like they wanted to challenge the king, which is Netflix. And they didn't realize that Netflix had so much of the support of those out there who were subscribed to them. See, Disney thought that people was going to drop Netflix and come right over to Disney Plus, and that backfired. They didn't fully understand the streaming war itself, even though they were the ones that started it. They didn't know that it pays the cost to be the boss. They didn't know that. What they thought. Huh? So with that being said, Disney tampering back their streaming content may be for the best for the studio. And they have to get away from spending this type of money on a streaming series. If you're going to spend this money, you might as well just go ahead on and give us films. That's how I feel. And speaking of the streaming series, why do they have to be so goddamn expensive? Sometimes you can step back and say, hey, we're not going to spend that much money. Now, I know the strikes factored into it, but the fact of the matter is Disney did not want to cancel it. They wanted to keep pumping money into it. Think about it like this. Andor costs more than Ahsoka. Andor costs more than the Acolyte. Andor costs more than Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Mandalorian, seasons 1 through 3. What else I want to say here? Book of Boba Fett. I mean, come on. There's no reason why this thing should cost this much money.